Preparation is everything when it comes to painting. We've decided we're going to follow the book and paint the bottom white. So that means we need to get as much of the polyurethane off, spray a primer on it, and you're going to find when we do that that there are lots of imperfections that we didn't see because it was mixed in with the wood grain. So the key to a great paint finish is preparation, preparation, preparation. We've just sanded this. We're going to do one more sanding. And I just want to show you this. This is on a piece of sandpaper, and it's all getting clogged up, which is what we need to get off until all we see is sanding dust. Perhaps the biggest job is masking the waterline off, and I got these a few years ago from a car finishing place, and they really help you. I actually use the smaller one because it makes the curves seamlessly without any joins, and that's really pretty good. We have put the first coat of primer on, and we're going to wait and see what effect that primer has on any residue that the polyurethane had, which was put on the hull before. Just a quick word on my current thinking on paints. Again, remember, I'm no expert, but I really got to like acrylic paints because it's the turnaround time between sanding and recoating can be 15 to 20 minutes here in the tropics. And that really makes a huge difference if you're trying to get past a certain piece. Remember, 3 coats on a strip of paint, so 3 coats on a piece of wood could easily be an hour and a quarter by the time you get to install the piece. So this is my favorite at this point in time. I do use spray cans for things like I will use a spray can on the bottom of the Granado, both for applying the primer. I do have air guns. I tend to find they clog up a lot and the cleanup takes a lot of time. So this is my preferred paint at this point in time. While we are waiting on that to dry, most of the parts that are required, most of the brass parts that are required need to be painted in black. And the simplest way to do that is to do them when they are like this. And I just thought I'd show you. This is the electrolysis etched pieces, which are really fantastic quality, primed and painted, so that you don't have to worry about painting the individual units. It's the easiest way to prepare these pieces for the model. In the case of the cannons, you simply make up a series of pins on a piece of old scrap balsa, one of the frames, turn them upside down. You need to prepare the gudgeons before you paint it. You prime and again paint with a flat black spray paint. I have to say I'm always envious when I see the quality of the finished parts on what is called an Admiralty model, and you look at the detail. It is really stunning to see the quality of the finished work, and that is all about preparation of the work before painting. And to do that, when you have a part like this, you need to seal it with a wood sealer and leave it normally for about 20 minutes, then lightly sand it, and then you can start putting, I normally put 3 coats on. Put a coat on, lightly sand, put a coat on, lightly sand, put a coat on, lightly sand. And that's how you get these beautiful finished pieces with no, sometimes you see little hairy pieces of the wood coming out. There's none of that here. And it's all about preparation. Well, first of all, sealing the wood before you paint it with a wood sealer, and then sanding and preparing it. So preparation is 99% of a great model that is finished. Well, from here you can see the primer has dried, and you can now start to see the imperfections in the hull that we didn't see beforehand. So we're going to use a finishing putty that's used when you work on cars to get rid of these imperfections. There we go. And we just spread this. It'll seep into every single hole, and we'll come back when it dries and sand it later. Going back to my earlier statement, I'm not sure whether it was the primer, the polyurethane, or the glazed finish that I put, but as I started to sand it, it started to roll off and clog the sandpaper, and so I had to strip it down, right back down. I'm going to use a red glazing putty this time, and the only reason I used the silver one is I couldn't find a red one at the time, and I have used it for years and really got fantastic finishes. So here we go again. So here we are, all covered up, looking kind of rough, and we'll sand that down in about 20 minutes, and hopefully that's acceptable, and we can put the primer back on it. When sanding, look for help anywhere you can get it.
You helping, Papa?
Well, I've actually taken off the paper, the masking, because I had some leakage both at the bow and at the back, and decided the only way I could deal with it is really just strip it off and do it again. It's not too bad. There's still one or two fill spots, which I will fill. This one here in the bow is really too big to leave. That's really the major one. And a little one here. And another one here. So other than that, tomorrow we'll just fill that, sand it, and put the first coat on.